Hello everybody, welcome back to Labz. Times have changed. The zombie apocalypse is here. Do we run? Do we hide? Or do we adapt and build? Do we survive? Today we are going to try a tiny little experiment. This probably won't even take that long to do, except that, well, we're going to have to punch a couple of zombies. The reason we're doing this particular thing is last alpha I tested and found out that punching a zombie was more effective than most of the leather wraps, the knuckle wraps that you could use. You were better off punching a zombie. So this time I want to actually try those out, see whether or not you can do more damage with your actual knuckles. Now, of course, if you get leather knuckles, you can put mods in them. So the mods might actually be important. Say you're looking for the knockdown effect of the weighted head mod, or you're dealing with, for some reason or another, you're going around and punching irradiated zombies, you might want the anti-rad. In those cases, obviously having the leather allows you to put a mod into what you are doing. But just brute force, is it even worth getting the leather? Just a curious question. I was testing this last year and was surprised to find out none of them were actually worth it, so we're going to try that out again this year. Also, I have in here, this particular box will show you which kind of... Can you see all of the spots? Hang on. You may not be able to see all of the spots. Can I move me? That's not me. Me. All the way down here. There you go. You should be able to see all of them. The leather and the iron, these are all the mods that you can use for it. The grave digger, the weighted head, the rad remover, the structural brace mod, the hunter mod, the ergonomic grip, the wood splitter, the bunker buster, the fortifying grip, and the iron breaker. And with these ones, you can also use the diamond tip blade mod, the tempered blade mod, and the serrated blade mod. Not all of these will work with the other mods, like you can't put the structural brace mod and the ergonomic grip mod all in the same item. They have to be separate, but all of these will work in those items. Well, let's just do this really quick. We're gonna need Bo, which is actually thick, but I keep calling him Bo just in case anybody else is doing tests and wants to use the same zombie for some reason that I do. You'll know what it is actually called. Let me remember all of the buttons. Bo. We're just gonna put Bo here. There we go. Now Bo is stuck. Alright, I'm in God mode so I can actually see what kind of health he has. He's got 163. Ow. 148. Hold on, let's actually keep records, because this stuff can vary a little bit. So... Bo, we're doing science, sir. This, and that is 15 hit points. Do we do consecutively 15 hit points? 15. So, on average, we're doing 15. Now, does this change by where we punch you? Like, if I punch you here. Sorry, Bo. 8, and that was a stomach shot. So... 102. That's 8 points as well. Yeah, that's 8. Okay, so for a headshot with just your fist is 15, and a stomach shot is 8. I do apologize. This is a thing I actually have to do here. $86. 8 as well. On the foot. Okay, so that's probably pretty accurate right there. That sounds about right to the test that I had before. So just a headshot. Of course, it's kind of hard to get headshots. You might get a glancing shot to the shoulder or something like that. But just for a headshot, I think I'm going to have you stand right there for just a second. For just a headshot, it's 15. Now, if we look at the base stats of all of these, 6, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11. If we took a level 6, and we just stuffed it full of mods, and I tried this a minute ago, it doesn't matter which mods you put into it. Be quiet in there, sir. We're doing a thing. It's science. Okay, it doesn't matter which mods you use in here, it always elevates the melee damage by the exact same amount. So if we just take this one, this one, this one, that one, maybe even swap it out, we're doing 11 damage. Not really worth it. You're doing more damage with your fist, but if you use this and you're doing stomach shots, obviously you're going to do a little bit extra damage. So let's do this. I gotta put the God mode back on so I can see your health. Alright, I've got 186 written down. That was a power attack. I do apologize. That was... We're gonna have to forfeit that one. You're sitting at 35. And now you've got 2. I think I just beat your ass, sir. That was 33 points of damage. Nothing on here says 33 points of damage, which is interesting. So, for some reason, even though it's not telling me it's going to do that much damage, it's actually doing more. Here, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to bring out another one of you so I can experiment with this a little bit more. Okay, you've got 138. Each one of the zombies spawns within a certain amount. So each zombie is going to start with a different amount. So you're starting at 138. And if I punch you... Hold on, let me actually... Dadgummit. Hit all of the buttons. Melee should be 11.7. Power attack is 17, so... 23? 105. Okay. So, even though we have got a weapon that says it does this much damage, so it's doing 33, but if we take, say... oh god, where did I punch you at, Thick? I don't even remember. Hold on. I'm so sorry. So sorry for this, sir. 105. I'm trying to make sure I'm matching up perfectly. How much health are you sitting on? 72? Okay. So, if we do 105 minus 72, that is still 33. So I did punch you in the face last time. So, are we talking about our fists do their damage and the weapon does its damage? Because last alpha I tested this and that's not how it worked. But it could work this way. So if we do 15 damage with just our fist, plus the damage that our weapon does, that's 26. So what else are we getting in here? Is there like a bonus for punching you in the face? Possibly. There's possibly a bonus for having punched you in the face. Okay, so the way we should probably test this is go back to complete and utter basics. Let's see if we can't get a baseline for this. 147. So we did 18 points of damage. So where are we getting that 18 points of damage from? We have got 15 from us and 6 from that. That doesn't make sense. Are we talking about crits here, or what's going on? Because in this particular case, we actually lost damage. This would only be doing 3 points of damage. Curiosity, do any of the others do that with just base stuff? Well, let's not put that in there. Hang on. 129. So... I know everybody's gonna be like, I can do that math in my head. Well, I'm trying to make absolutely sure I don't make any mistakes. And with the amount of caffeine that I have in my system on any given basis, mistakes are expected. Okay, 18 points of damage there, too. But why? 6.8. 6.2. I mean, they're not that far off from each other. but neither one of those are accounting for the damage my fists do by themselves. What about this one? Make sure I'm actually on the tarmac here. Okay, we are at 129. 129. No, this is absolutely not an experiment just so I can punch Thick in the face. Absolutely not. 21. So we got our first change here. The actual weapon says it does 7.4. 15 and 7. Okay. Just to be on the safe side. Here we go. That's 22. That's closer to what it should actually be. If it's counting the damage your fists do by themselves and the weapon that you're using, this is the closest it actually gets to doing it. Weird. So I would say level 1 and level 2 knuckle wraps are absolutely and completely worthless. Shh, Thick. This is science, dude. Now, we can go through each one of them and try to determine what is worth it and what is not. But I think at this point we found out the level 3s are semi-worth it because you're like 1 point off of it making sense. Let's just go ahead and check the other ones, right? I'm sure Thick does not mind being punched in the face. I'm pretty sure he likes it. Okay. Just so we can see the stuff. It's 108. We have that written down. 108 to 84. That's 24. Okay, and this one does 8 melee damage, so 15 and 8. It's 23. That one's actually above it. The other one, the level 3, was actually 1 below what it should have been, because it should have been 22, but it was 21. This one actually has an extra point somehow or another in there. So the level 4 is absolutely much better than the level 3 in that it gives you all of your effective damage. Like, you get all of the damage from your fists, just your fists, and all of the damage from the weapon itself. That's weird. Why did they do it this way? Is 24 the actual damage that this weapon... no. We're not doing nighttime. The actual damage that this weapon does is 8.6, 8.6, plus the 15 from our knuckles is 23. So it does a little bit better. The level 4 actually did better than that. Weird, but it did. Like, what I'm actually looking at is not necessarily the damage, but also the damage according to how much of it are you getting all of the damage that you should be getting out of the weapon and your fist, is kind of what I'm looking at. Level 5. Okay, so obviously you would figure the level 6 would be even better. 27. So you do 27 damage, and that is... so it would be 15 plus... what's the damage? 9.2? 24, and we're doing 27, so that one is really good to give you all of the damage from the knuckles and your knuckles. So that one's not bad. Okay, now, do we see the same kind of discrepancy? I'm sorry, we're done. We're done, dude! Sorry. Okay, now, does this same kind of discrepancy happen in the other weapons as well? I'm just kind of curious if at any point the weapon itself no longer takes into account the damage you do with your own fist. And whether or not it's actually in any way... you know what? We can probably... let me go set some of this stuff down so I'm not carrying it around. We're just punching zombies today. 27. So you start out at the 27 damage that the other one left in with. 140 to 113. Right? Yeah. So that was 27, and that's the level 1. So, damage-wise, this does 9.3. Which is 24. absolutely better. You're getting all of the fist work, all of the weapons work, and then a bit more. So that's 30. So 10 and 15, so 25. And we did 30, so 5 above. Okay, so once you get to the iron ones, it is most certainly worth using. And let's see, the stamina cost is not much different than the leather stuff. I think we could probably actually stop there. That pretty much proved it. The stamina cost here is only one more. This is 9.1. 9.6, so the stamina cost is really not that big a difference. Yeah, that pretty much proved what I was talking about. Okay, to clarify what we were actually doing, because I know it probably seems a little odd what I was trying to do, what I was trying to prove. First off, leather weapons do indeed do extra damage that your fists don't. Oddly enough, last alpha, when I tested those, that was not the case. You actually did less damage with the knuckles on than you did if you just punched them. So even at level 1, it's worth it. Even with the mods, it's still kind of you know? And the reason being is because your fists by themselves, headshot only, does 15 damage. And if the level 1 weapon does 18, which means you're not getting the full amount of damage you would if you just took the belt that you wrapped around your fist and just slapped thick in the face with it, the damage would have been bigger. That whole thing did not sound right. No, is there a better way to phrase any of that? I don't think there really is. Okay, if, say, this was a projectile weapon and we just picked up the knuckles, the leather knuckles, and just threw them at him, it would have done more damage. Because for some reason or another, we're not getting all of the damage of the weapon and all of the damage of the fist like you do in the other ones. But the compensation is the higher you go, the better the compensation is for using your fist and the weapon. I think I'm saying that right. Guys, I do hope that editing Liz can make some sense out of what I just did, but I have found out that if you want to get the most out of the damage that your fist can actually do, which is kind of based on strength and the points that you put into it, and of course, the magazines that you have read are also going to alter these findings, but the point where you start seeing the most bang for your buck are the level 4 leather gloves. When you're below that, it's kind of, you don't actually have to wear them. They're not going to do a whole hell of a lot more than what your fists are going to do. And definitely not as much as the fists and the weapon separately would have done. Assuming you could actually use the knuckles in another way. This is a weird experiment, and I don't know why I felt the need to do it, but who knows? Maybe it's a bug. And the fun pimps might watch this and say, hey, it's actually supposed to be doing all of the damage of the weapon and the fist, even at level 1, in which case, I hope this helps. But other than that, the basic thing I can tell you is even a level 1 knuckles is better than a tier 6 leather. And I would say it probably goes on to say that maybe the level 1 knuckles there on, say, the steel might be better than the tier 6. Some people are very skittish about changing out between the different tiers because they can add more mods. And that's completely understandable. At a tier 6 iron, you are probably going to be doing more than you would be at a tier 1. But for the most bang for your buck for weapon and knuckles, and I say weapon like the wrap that goes around your knuckles, and the damage your knuckles actually do by themselves, you're going to have to get above the tier 4. The tier 4 is where you start seeing that bonus and no negative to any of that. Guys, I don't... This is 20 minutes of me punching thick and trying to make some sense out of it. Yeah, well, that's what I've got. That's what I've got, guys. All of that to say that basically the leather knuckles actually get good at tier 4. No mods. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful night. Please stay shiny. Bye. There's gotta be a better way of just having an excuse to punch thick for 30 minutes. There's gotta be a better way.